Hello everyone, just a little notice up front here that you may have already heard, so if you have, their time codes down in the description, so you can skip around to wherever you want. As we'll kind of get into a little bit more later, this podcast episode is actually pre-recorded, if you can believe that, Freddy.
Oh my god.
This was recorded on December 3rd, 2017, so if any major news comes out, or something like that, between December 3rd and whenever this comes out, sorry, we are not aware of that. Please excuse our ignorance. We pre-recorded these 3 next episodes because basically Christmas and the first month of the year are very busy times for both of us, so it was either we go with nothing for like until early February, or we have these 3 kind of mini pods with no news, just a topic. So we thought you would enjoy these 3 topic-driven episodes over the holidays to hold you over until we return with a vengeance. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Alright, let's get into it. So, the podcast episodes 14, 15, 16 are all pre-recorded December 3rd. Sorry about that, but it's either that or nothing. We hope you enjoy. Alright. Alright, let's do this thing. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 16th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You probably know me better as BHL Hudson. With me as always... Wait, I got to say what we do.
With you as always, the fabulous
Frederick. What we do here is we talk movies and comics and TV shows and a bunch of nonsense. As you probably heard in that intro, or if you skipped it, you already know, this is pre-recorded from December 3rd. However, when this is going up, it's, I believe, January 19th.
Oh.
So, how has your January been?
My January? Amazing.
Predict who has died between now and when this goes up.
Of close family members? Or
Yes. Specifically your father.
Ah, yes. Well, he's dead.
One can hope. Anyway.
No. I am feeling that Adam Sandler's gonna die.
Again, a man can dream.
He's gonna get the death sentence after what he's done.
After all the movies he's made.
Exactly.
So we obviously don't have any news, because this is pre-recorded, but we thought we would treat you to our Pixar movies ranked, because we've done Marvel ranked, we've done DC EU ranked. The next logical step is Pixar.
It is obviously Pixar.
Yeah, so the way we're going to do this, as we usually do, we go... Oh, by the way, there are time codes down in the description, so if we're let's just say right off the bat, spoilers for all of these.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen one of them, just click the time code down in the description, and you can skip to the next one, because spoilers for the movies we talk about. Right?
Yes.
You wanted to say something?
Have you seen all of these movies?
No.
Okay.
Little notice up front. I have not seen Coco yet. I hear it's fantastic, but in Denmark, here where we live, we only get the animated movies in Danish, and I made the mistake of seeing Zootopia here in Danish. God, it was bad.
Let me see which ones I've not seen.
Oh, also Cars 3. I haven't seen Cars 3
I haven't seen
yet.
Coco, Cars 3, A Bug's Life, Finding Dory.
You've seen The Good Dinosaur?
I've not seen The Good Dinosaur either. I think that's it.
Okay.
And like Toy Story, the first one I haven't seen.
Okay, so we're gonna... Yeah, I don't know if... I'm sure Coco's great, and I'm sure Cars 3 is totally fine, but those are gonna be my 19 and 18, because I haven't seen them.
Yeah. Actually, can I put Cars, the first one, as my number 19? Because that is just a horrible movie.
You know it's worse than all of them combined.
Although Coco looks pretty
It's apparently amazing. I'm actually quite excited to see it. Yeah, although, have you heard the Frozen short that they put in front of Coco?
Frozen short.
Yeah, it's apparently terrible.
Oh.
Like, people are boycotting it outside of the set, like, demanding that they don't show it. Because, and this is insane to me, it's 23 minutes long.
23 minutes.
So
they show that before every Coco.
Combined with the billion trailers they show in cinemas in America, that's like 40 minutes before the actual film starts. That's insanity.
Horrible.
And apparently the short is not very good. It looks like a TV movie, which was what it was before they decided to slap it in front of Coco. But now it turns out Coco's actually great, so it's so dumb. Anyway, I'm excited to see Coco hopefully over the holidays. And Cars 3, I'll probably get to it eventually. I've heard it's better than 2, but not as good as 1. Whatever. Why do they keep making those? So, speaking of which, coming in at number 17, my worst is Cars 2, and I guess it would be the first Cars for you. Actually, let's just go my list and then...
and then I'll say my list afterwards.
Or you just say like where it ranks on your list.
Okay.
Cars 2, number 17. I I'm not a fan of this movie.
It's much better than Cars 1.
No.
Yes.
That's where we disagree.
That's
the only thing we've ever disagreed on. I saw it as a kid, like, I must have been, it was summer 2011, so I would have been 9. It was, I enjoyed, there was, like, colors and action and all that, but even as a kid, I was like, this is dumb and confusing. Like,
but they have that agent car who's like,
Asian car?
No, that agent.
Oh, they made it a spy movie for some reason with Mater as the main character.
Okay, yeah, Mater is not.
So the only line I remember from that movie is
Get her going.
That too. Michael Caine car says, "I'm from secret intelligence," and then Mater's like, "Average intelligence," and like everyone groaned in this.
Everyone exploded.
It's just, he's not funny in my opinion. He can't. I'm sure he has like 1 or 2 funny lines, but the movie on the whole also is just, it's confusing. Like, especially for a kids movie, it has a weird plot about this one company's trying to sell oil that then it makes it look like it blows up cars so they can sell other oil or something, and it's just like,
well, I don't remember much of the movie. I just remember that it's better than Cars.
Of course. And then they get strapped to Big Ben at the end, I believe, and then he turns into a German Mater at one point, and Lightning McQueen is somewhere in there. I remember I liked the Italian car. Like, his rival in it is an Italian car, man. I like that, but besides that, it's just, they go through London at the end, and Michael Caine. Did I mention Michael Caine's a car?
You did.
God damn.
He's gonna die.
Just the actor, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Don't watch it. It's not horrendous. Like, the animation's still pretty good, and like the
plot's amazing.
it's watchable, but it's definitely like Pixar's. It just feels like a kind of cash grab of a sequel. Also, it's not funny at all. Like, there's so many dumb gags, and I remember at the start.
So many dumb gads.
There are. Is there any other kind? They at the start they go to Tokyo, and like,
very good.
Mater, I think he thinks wasabi is some kind of ice cream, and then you can imagine how that how that goes.
Also, I remember like the beginning where the agent like drives up like a tunnel.
Yeah. There's like a weird action scene.
Yeah.
Also, all the cars, not all the cars, but like I remember at least specifically 2 cars that are distinctly not the same car look very similar, and it's very confusing. Like, Michael Caine car and some other car look almost identical, at least to the 9-year-old me when I saw it, and I was like, what is this?
So
what is this
Caine
twist?
And Mater, wasn't it?
It was. So yeah, Cars 2, not good. Don't watch it. Moving on. Number 16, and again, I just say there's a pretty big jump from number 17 to number 16, because I think number 16 is a good-ish movie. It's fine.
A goodish dinosaur movie. That's number 15.
Number 16 is A Bug's Life. It's fine. It's totally like nothing. I
haven't seen it. I don't know.
I haven't seen Ants, which is apparently like the kind of darker version of it. It's probably better than Ants.
You haven't seen Ants?
No.
Ants is pretty good.
Ants has Woody Allen in it.
Does it?
I think so. Or he's the star, I think.
The Ants animation is like really bad though.
Yeah, it looks, at least from what I've seen, A Bug's Life looks visually better.
And in Ants, there's this really messed up scene where a kid, you know how you can take like a magnifying glass? He fries 10 ants with it. And like, you see it from Woody Allen's perspective.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It's pretty scary.
A Bug's Life, God, there must be some. I remember I liked, so we can do some mid-pod research.
Some poorly planned research?
Exactly. There's someone in
it
it who I
87 on...
Oh yeah, oh God, no. Okay, this is unfortunate. However, Kevin Spacey
is the main guy?
Is he? No, I thought he was the bad guy.
Is he?
Wait a minute. I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Why are we going so much into this?
Because I remember he's like the only thing I liked in this movie.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, okay. So
have I seen this movie?
I'm really sorry. Kevin Spacey's obviously not a good person, but I do enjoy him in that movie. He's one of the more entertaining parts of that film, or at least his character is. The rest is just like, I remember just being kind of like a generic plot. I really, really hate, and this is in so many animated like kids films, I think on YouTube there's a guy called the Nostalgia Critic who calls it the liar reveal plotline, where it's always like some misunderstanding happens early on where a bunch of characters think the main character is one thing when he's another thing.
Yeah.
And then like the movie keeps building and building, and then like kind of halfway through the third act, or like towards the end of the second act, they find out that he was lying, and then they get mad and abandon him, and then they all come together in the end. It happens in so many animated films, and I'm pretty sure this is one of them, where they think he's some amazing thing, and then he's not, or something like that.
The main guy or
the main
Hopper?
guy? Yeah, no, Hopper's the bad guy. It also happens in Aladdin, but I think that's one of the better examples of that. But it's really frustrating to watch, and it's just, I don't know why, it's just kind of unpleasant. But the movie on the whole,
it's like B-movie.
Sure, I don't what. They're colorful characters, like they're interesting characters. Unlike from the footage I've seen from Ants, it just looks like everyone's the same. Maybe I haven't seen that film, but this one, like, there's the caterpillar thing, which is kind of funny, and there's the stick figure, and there, the other things, and that's interesting. Like, at least you can distinguish the characters, but plot-wise, it's fairly just simple. And if you're gonna watch any Pixar movie, this is just like, no. At least there's more to say about Cars 2. At least Cars 2 is like interestingly terrible. I think A Bug's Life is just kind of
boring.
Yeah, it's not boring. It's just kind of meh. Although a lot of people love that film, so I think we might get some hate for that. Number 15, The Good Dinosaur.
The very average dinosaur.
It's incredibly average.
I haven't seen this either.
Here's what I'll say: the animation in this film is way better than this movie deserves. Like, it is fantastic animation. It's amazing animation with the most bland story.
Okay.
It's the most like cliche, predictable story that you've seen like maybe a million times in every animated film.
Okay.
There are some like little nuggets of like
Some chicken nuggets.
yeah, of like enjoyment and like originality in there somewhat. Like, I remember there's a scene with the dinosaur and the little boy, and they're by like a fireplace or something. Or not a fireplace.
And the little boy gets roasted.
by what's it called, a campfire or something. And I remember that was kind of interesting. Like, the rest is just like his dad dies Mufasa style, and then appears
The dinosaurs or the kids?
The dinosaurs, and then he appears in the clouds later, also Mufasa style.
Oh, very good.
And then they go on kind of an adventure to get back to their
kids' parents.
The home. And the kid, they don't like each other at first, but then they kind of bond over time, and then they have to say goodbye, but they've bonded now. And they meet colorful characters along the way. It's just like, it's all very serviceable. It's just, it's not incredibly memorable. The only thing that is very memorable, besides the animation, which is, again, spectacular, is it's surprisingly violent and, like, frightening. Because there's a part where they, like, start tripping. Not really, but like,
bro,
they eat some like berries or something, and then they start, that part in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where
they're like jumping through.
Yeah, it's like that basically, and I imagine a child would be so like
horrified.
Yeah, and then also there's a part where the dinosaur, he's kind of like, he's, cliche, he's like the smallest of his family, and he's not, he's so
very little
timid. Yeah, and then the little caveman baby is like teaching him how to hunt. And there's a part where, like, I believe he grabs a bug and he just bites its head off, and it's like, Jesus, where did this come from? Pixar. What are you doing?
Oh god.
It's something like that. That's the only thing I remember about it. And I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I was like, oh, this is something, different. But for a kid, that's upsetting, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to see someone get their head bitten off. So The Good Dinosaur, perfectly average. It's not really worth. If you see it on a plane, that's fine.
That's not good.
Number
also,
14.
I cannot believe you put this above Cars.
Brave.
Brave, I thought was pretty good.
Starring your mother.
Starring my mother.
That soun's like a really lame your mom joke, but Frederick's mom does actually look quite a bit like a grown-up version of the girl from Brave. Just saying.
There's a little hint there. Go find my mom.
You can find her on Instagram. So what do you think of Brave? Because I feel like these movies I've just been talking about because you haven't seen them.
I think Brave is pretty good, although it is kind of it's not that good, I think. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. I don't know, it lacks something.
It lacks artistic value.
Very true. But also, it lacks some humor, I feel.
Well, there's the part where the old Scottish man shows his balls to the other guy. That's pretty hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Good job,
like, there's
Pixar.
some nice scenes in it with
the mom bear.
The mom bear where she's like trying to catch salmon. Remember that?
That's kind of fun. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, that's nice. But like the plot with the big bear, And then in,
what's his name? It's not Dormammu.
I don't remember.
It's Mordu or something like that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, like he's got a big scar, and then in the end, did they kill him?
Yes, I believe
And then
so.
like
and then the mom comes back.
His spirit like floats up or something like. Thank you.
I don't.
Does that not happen?
Well, I
that
believe
might be
they
some
were
other movie.
there were 4 kings, and then one was turned into a bear because he was a real dickhead.
Yeah.
And then that's
wasn't it like the king's son?
Probably. I don't know. I rewatched it fairly recently to make a video about it. By recently, I mean like 2 years ago. So not that recently.
I watched it like last month.
Oh, well, then you should totally remember more of this. But I remember thinking like, oh, this is when I saw it in the cinema, I hated it, and I remember seeing it recently. I was like, oh, this is much better than I remember. It's just, again, I think when I went into that film, I was not expecting it to be like a mom bear daughter bonding story. Like I don't remember if that's in the trailer. That probably is, but it very much caught me off guard. But it's kind of fun. It has some fun moments. But
it lacks like good.
Well, it doesn't have like any insanely like it tries to have like emotional moments. Those don't really work.
It doesn't. Yeah.
The humor is fine. There's a lot of like
Although
Scottish.
I like the dad.
I do like. He's very good.
He's very good. The 3.
Oh, you know what I watched yesterday? Unrelated. The Julekalender.
You watched the Julekalender? I watched Tinkers Jul, and it's so horrible.
God, you should watch the Julekalender. It's hilarious. Why are we talking about this? Sorry. He said his voice. I don't know. He reminds me of someone in the Julekalender.
The Julecool. Anyways.
So, brave.
The three like,
little kids who are
like
the
They're
worst human beings on the planet.
Yeah,
who are always like
the 3
harassing this.
That turns into bears.
Yeah, they're harassing this maid who who continuously just looks horrified. It's pretty messed up. Anyway, it's
okay.
I think it's a good movie.
I'd put it
above
lower.
Cars.
I'd put it maybe like number 10 on the list.
Well, yeah, I do like the action's pretty cool.
It is, yeah. And like when she shoots her bow, and it's pretty cool.
It all looks very good. It's all very well animated. Voice acting's great. It's a standard good animated film that just. The thing is with Pixar, I think they've held themselves to such a high standard. Well, yeah, exactly. Pixar always has like they're known for putting out these like amazing, hilarious, and emotional and exciting films, and this is exciting and occasionally emotional and occasionally kind of funny. It's just it's not on the same level as some of their other stuff. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say about this. Yeah, bears. She fights a bear.
Something else.
Bears. That scene where she's like with the bear in the dark cave. That freaked me out when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I remember that. The ending's kind of weird. They sew the tapestry together. Oh, what do you think about the witch? I thought that was kind of fun.
I liked her.
You know, have you heard the theory about the Pixar theory?
Depends.
Let me just wait. I gotta take a swig of water for this one. So the Pixar theory basically goes. I was thinking of making a video on this a long time ago, and I feel like I might now. But it goes. All these films are basically in the same universe, all the Pixar movies. So,
okay. Well,
it goes like it starts at Brave, and then it goes like through like different stuff. Event like Up is like present day-ish, and then
WALL-E's the
future, and then like all humans die out and cars become sentient or something like that. It's actually kind of clever when you think about it, or when you like read the whole thing.
The Good Dinosaur must be the first, right?
Probably, I don't know. But the theory is that the doors. So Monsters Inc. is set in the same universe as like our world, but it's just millions and millions and millions of years in the future, and they're just like mutated humans. And the doors let them travel back in time to like present day. Oh. So the theory is, Boo from Monsters Inc. Grows up looking for like the monsters and all that kind of stuff, and she discovers the doors or something like that, invents the doors that can travel through time. She goes back to ancient Scotland, and she is that witch.
You think so?
I don't think so, but it's an interesting theory because also like you see every time she closes the door, she like magically disappears, that kind of stuff. She also has like a sculpture of Sully in her room. It's an interesting thing to look at if you have the time sometime.
Yeah, I think it's just people are overthinking this way too much.
Yeah, but it does make it kind of horrifying, Monsters Inc. that they're all just like mutated humans from billions of years in the future.
Yeah.
I do not want to think of how Mike Wazowski came to be. Let's see.
It's Gad.
Okay, moving on to my number 13 and your number infinity, apparently.
Number 19.
Cars, because you have some weird vendetta against Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, is he the main guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, poor Wilson.
How did they drag him into this?
It's so horrible. The whole plot, the whole premise, the whole idea. Okay. The man who made this should be stoned.
Well, I believe the man who made it is John Lasseter, who recently was accused of sexual harassment. He's like the head of Pixar, but I think he also directed this one.
Director's John Lasseter.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess he should be stoned.
Joe Ranft.
It's
horrible.
It's fine.
It's absolutely terrible.
It's kind of fun at the start when he's racing and all that, and then it kind of slows down for a bit when he's kind of just when he's meandering around the town. I remember I thought it was so cool when I was a kid when he got like the new wheels and the new paint and everything. And the ending is kind of where he helps the guy across the finish line. He's like, "You gotta do it, champ." That's my Owen Wilson.
That's very good.
Thank you. That's fine. It's just I think the middle part where he's just kind of meandering around this place and doing races in the desert and that kind of stuff. Also, from memory, did they hold him hostage in that city?
I've got no idea.
Well, cause like
I will not talk about this movie.
Because I feel like I remember he falls off the truck, which is a dumb scene, and then he ends up in the city, and then like they kind of don't let him go until he fixes their road, and it's like that seems illegal. But again, I don't remember, and again, it's a world with sentient cars, so take all this with a grain of salt. You know who I do like in this?
Mater?
Michael Keaton as the villain.
Don't remember.
What's his name? Kachiga. What's his name?
Oh, the green guy.
Chick Hicks. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Is he the bad guy?
Yeah, he's, well, you know, as bad guys go. He's not like murdering people, but he's like a real snivelly prick on the races and that kind of stuff, and he knocks a guy over or something. I don't remember. Also, the late Paul Newman's in it as Doc Hudson. He's pretty good. Larry the Cable Guy is an absolute disaster to this planet, just generally. You know what? I'm just gonna look up some trivia while you rant about it. Just feel free to. Why do you hate it so much?
The whole premise with the cars of eyes, and then it's just so dumb.
Did you notice the sexual innuendo in it that Pixar has in like all their movies?
No, I haven't seen this movie in like 10 years.
Well, there's one part where Lightning is like, "Hey," and he's going all around to all his fans, and then two female cars are like, "Lightning, we love you," and then they flash their headlamps.
Oh,
and it's like,
very good.
Yeah,
that's the best part of that movie.
Clearly, piece of trivia for you. Luigi's license plate reads 445108, which is the latitude and longitude for the main Ferrari factory in Modena, Italy.
I thought it was gonna be like the suicide hotline.
It's a cry for help. This is the first. These facts suck. Get it together, IMDb. If you look at any sky scenes, all the jet contrails are tire marks. That's amazing.
That's really good.
10 out of 10.
Look, Guido is an Italian name, but is also the Italian translation for I drive. Hello, guys.
Well, I think this has redeemed itself. Look,
suddenly I want to watch this movie.
I think it's fine. I don't think it's worth like watching multiple. I think a kid would really enjoy it, and I think as an adult, it's kind of like Brave, where it's good. It's a step below the regular Pixar stuff. Although I know there's some people who love this with like a fiery passion for some reason. I don't.
Do you know anyone who hates it apart from me?
No, actually I don't. I know people who are like, I think a lot of people are like me who are just like, yeah, it's good, it's fine. And then I know some people like, you see, and it's like, the friend I like more than you. It's like, it's the best movie ever. And then there's you, who then thinks it's
the worst movie ever.
Possibly. Yeah, I think we've milked this movie dry. There's not much to say. It is thoroughly average. Tow Mater's, like, it has some funny moments, but Mater is just like, why?
Grating.
He is. Let's see. Okay, number 12, Finding Dory. I know I'm gonna catch some flack for this, but I did not catch on to this.
Reasons we will not go into.
Look, it's good, but like a 92% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
And I believe the highest grossing film ever domestically.
Oh my god.
Let me look that up. Wait, actually. Oh, sorry, it's the highest grossing animated film ever domestic. That's insane to me. Because it is such a... Again, it's good. It has funny moments. I actually quite liked, what's his name? Ty Burrell, the Modern Family guy, as he's a whale in it. I thought he was kind of funny.
Doesn't he go like, Dory? Or is that Dory who does that?
That's Dory who does that. That's bad.
That's really dumb.
I really don't like that. There are funny moments. I enjoy like the new environment of the aquatic center. Idris Elba's in it inexplicably as a seal. He's pretty funny. Like the whole movie is just, it's not. Sorry, where am I going with this? Oh yeah, there are some really weird plot devices that I didn't like, and it just feels like you're like Pixar really following a formula. So one of the main plot devices is Dory's memory, and I get that it's a kids film, but even for a kids film, I thought this was way too contrived. Dory's memory basically gets like kicked off by different events, and some of them, I can't remember specific examples, but some of them are so like contrived to happen. Like someone says something really weirdly
specific. Yeah,
and then she's like, whoa, and then her mind goes like,
she screams, whoa,
and she remembers something. She's like, my parents left this thing for me. I love my parents. And it's like, what?
Doesn't she find her parents in the end?
Yeah, it's such a like.
We waited for you, Dory.
Yeah, it's like again, everyone's gonna hate me for this because everyone loves this film, but it's like such a lot of people have accused Pixar of like emotional manipulation. I don't think that's true for most of them. Like I think a lot of these are genuinely. Like, the opening scene from Up, a lot of people are like, that's just them trying to, like, just hit you with the biggest gut punch. But I think that's actually, like, a great scene that is full of genuine emotion. But this just felt like...
It was very forced.
It felt like trying to get me to cry instead of, like, actually making me cry, you know?
They tried way too hard.
And then it
this
ends...
boy don't cry for no one.
Except for, like, most movies ever. Yeah. And then it ends with, like, a weird car chase where an octopus... I like the octopus in it, by the way. He's good.
Thank you, my man.
Shout out to my man Octopus. There's a car chase on like a highway and the police get involved, and there's a slow-mo scene with Louis Armstrong. I see what's it called? What a Wonderful Day, or What a Wonderful Life.
World.
What a wonderful. That's a Christmas movie. What a Wonderful World. Which
What a Wonderful Day.
I feel is ripped completely out of. Isn't that scene in Madagascar? Isn't that song's in Madagascar, right?
I think so.
It like totally reminded me of that. And it's a weird, completely out of nowhere. I enjoyed it because it was so stupid, or not stupid, but like so ridiculous. But it doesn't really make sense for the movie. Again, movie about fish that can talk. I know, but
it's almost Cars level.
Almost, right? I don't know. It has amusing moments, but I've seen it twice, which is more times than I feel like
any man should.
Yeah, there are just weird plot moments that I don't like it. It's I think it's good. I think it's like a 7.8 out of 10. It's better than all the ones we've talked about, and I said nice things about those. So I don't think it's a horrible movie. I just think it's definitely, like, everyone was like, it's so amazing, it's so great, 100% or whatever, and then I went into it, I was like, this is not. Feels like kind of a thoroughly average sequel, and that's kind of what I'm scared The Incredibles 2 will turn into.
Oh, God.
Which I really hope it doesn't. So, also, oh my God, Marlin and Nemo are really not great in it.
Are they in it a lot, or?
No, not from memory. They're in it as much as you'd expect for like a standalone kind of thing for Dory. But it's like they have the same exact character arc. Again, it feels so forced. There's one part where Marlin is like, that's his name, right? His name is Marlin.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you go to the corner and forget, Dory? It's what you do best. And then he's like, oh no, that was hurtful. It's like, well, of course it was. You've lived with her for like a year. What is wrong with you? Like, of course you don't say that to her.
Damn it, Marlin.
You know that. It felt so contrived, that moment. And that's like basically what kicks the whole plot into motion.
Do they live together now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
Also, making Dory the main character, I feel wasn't a great idea.
You, Alan.
Well, it's like she works well as a supporting character, but the main spotlight all the time, I didn't think her jokes really landed, especially towards the start. It gets better as it goes, I'd say. The animation's amazing, though. There's a part where, I think it's called The Undertow or something, a bunch of, like, stingrays swim overhead, and it's, like, actually stunning. It's amazing. But I just think, plot-wise, it feels a little rushed, which is weird, because it took, like, they made it over 10 years, so I do not understand that. Moving on.
Number 11. Talk about all of these in, like,
yeah, okay. Well, also we don't have enough time to really go into them. I've put 11, 10, 9, Toy Story 3, Toy Story, and Toy Story 2 in that order.
No, I haven't seen Toy Story 1, I don't think. Or I don't remember if I've seen 2, but I've seen 3.
I think 2 is the best, definitely. I know it's a basically... Toy Story 3 is a rehash of Toy Story 2 plot-wise, more or less. And I think Toy Story 3 is good, but I do not think it's like, everyone's like, this is the most emotionally devastating film you will ever see. It's so amazing in every way. Yeah. I don't think so.
No, not at all.
It's because I didn't grow up with Toy Story. Like, I think Toy Story 3 was for a lot of people what I think The Incredibles 2 will be for me, because I grew up watching The Incredibles like a billion times, and now it's like insane that the sequel's coming out. But Toy Story I never really saw as a kid. Like I saw it really like when I was like 8 or 9, not when I was like 5 or 6. So I don't have any nostalgia for Woody and Buzz.
I just remember like the bad guys, some pink bear, and then
also
they have the Claw, the 3 like minion dudes.
Yeah, that's a
Claw.
I also kind of hate it because we talked about this in our childhood trauma thing, I think, but the monkey in it, the security guard monkey, is one of the few things that's like ever actually made me lose sleep, because I saw the movie when I was like 8, and that horrified me. I vividly remember not being able to sleep because I was so terrified.
Just the eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It was, oh my god, I don't even want to talk about it.
I'll lose sleep today.
But the first one's very good. Again, it's just I don't think, because I didn't see it growing up, I don't have any nostalgia for it. I just think it's a good, fun kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great story, fantastic animation for the time. Like this really popularized CGI animation. And Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2, I just think is a better version of that.
What happens in Toy Story 2?
Woody goes off and he meets the prospector, and he meets Jessie, and then
Jessie's the girl, right?
Yeah, and Buzz meets they go to the toy store, and there's like a million Buzz Lightyears on the wall,
and he realizes he's not special.
Yeah, and then like another Buzz Lightyear comes with them, and there's Buzz Lightyear's like enemy. It's so much fun. I think Toy Story 2 is a great film. I don't know if it's better than Toy Story. I think it is though, because like it feels like it's the perfect sequel. Or not perfect sequel, but like it's exactly what a sequel should do. It's just a progression. Okay. It just ups the stakes from everything from the first film, and it's funnier and it's more exciting, and it has new characters that are fun. I really love it. So I think, maybe love's a strong word, but Toy Story 2 is great. Toy Story 1 is also pretty great, and Toy Story 3 I just think is very good, but not as good as everyone always talks about it. I don't think the ending with where he gives the toys away, that's kind of...
Aren't they making a Toy Story 4?
They are, which totally negates that. But that's kind of nice, but like the ending where they're all going into the furnace, I did not feel anything really.
Yeah, they weren't gonna die.
Yeah.
Love, touch my hand.
It's a good movie though, and has funny moments, and putting it in the daycare is an interesting thing. Also, Michael Keaton as Ken is hilarious. That is good. Probably my favorite part of that film. There's a part where he tries on different outfits. Yeah, it's hilarious.
And Barbie like ties him up or something.
Yeah, that's great. So that part's really good. It's a funny movie.
No one should ever say Michael Keaton as Ken.
Also, something I don't. There are weird inconsistencies in the plot in that movie, like how the whole thing is. Well, first of all, I hate when movies are kind of like kicked off by a really weird coincidence, like how this movie, I think it's because the attic door goes up and then it accidentally knocks the toys into the garbage can or something. They're like, and he hates us, and Woods and Woody's like, no, he doesn't. They're like, we don't believe you, even though we've known you for 20 years and we love you and all that, but we don't believe you for some reason. And then also Mr. Potato Head can put his body into a tortilla.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
That's very good.
Can he then put his body into anything?
I guess.
Can he put his body into a human? Can he put his like arm into a human being and then operate the human being?
No, because the human being has a conscience of its own.
Okay, but if you plugged him into like, all right, let's look around this room. If you plugged him into that Shrek mask that's on my wall for some reason,
Mr. Shrek.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't think about like those logistics, it's a fun time. Also, Spanish Buzz Lightyear is pretty funny. Number 8, Monsters University.
Little side note, you hope no one here.
Now, you'll note that I don't have any notes for any of these movies.
Except for this one, which is Krasinski.
Krasinski.
Seeing that?
I just wanted to mention that my mind was blown when I realized that John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, makes a sneaky little cameo in this movie in the first scene where...
As what?
Mike Wazowski's all young and on a field trip.
Yeah.
He's like the cool guy who shows them around. He's like, go to Monsters University, here's my hat. That's Krasinski. Anyway, that doesn't matter at all. I know people are gonna like riot that this is above Toy Story and Finding Dory and all that kind of stuff, but I really liked it. I don't know.
I thought
weird.
It wasn't.
It's certainly not as good as the first one.
No, not at all. But
I had a really fun, good time with it.
You could so predict I thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like,
You're
it does feel like
he messes with the scarometer. Is that the technical term?
Yeah, I believe it is. The ending though, that surprised me, where they go to the human world and they scare adults to like power. Although you'd think
I don't remember that.
Well, you know, they go to this cabin and they scare adults to power the door from the inside or something. But you'd think once they have that information, why do they keep on scaring children if they know adult screams are much more powerful?
Yeah.
But I
Interesting.
don't know. I love Sully. I love the characters of Sully and Mike Wazowski. I should never say that again. I really love them from Monsters Inc. and it was just a lot of fun to see them again. It felt like
I forget, is Randall?
Randall is in it, and he's kind of like the nerd guy, and then by the end he kind of goes a little bit evil because Sully screwed him over or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Something like that.
Doesn't he wear like glasses?
Yeah, and then he takes them off, and that's why he has the squint.
Ah.
But it's it's nothing special in the story department. Personally, I just really like it because they go through the challenges. I love a good series of challenges like Hunger Games, Harry Potter 4, that kind of stuff. I enjoy when they have to go through a progression of different stuff, and I enjoyed it. All right, sue me. I know it's not great. I had a good fun time with it. I'm sorry, Woody and Buzz. Number 7, Finding Nemo. Again, this is probably going to be like number 2 or 3 for most people.
I'd say this is like my number 11 or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Sue me.
Well, again, I think it's that nostalgia thing.
Yeah, I didn't feel
this is much like Toy Story, where I just didn't watch it growing up. So I watched it recently. It's a great movie. It's really, really good. It's funny. It has a good story. Has great voice acting, great animation. It's just I don't have that special place in my heart for it that most people have. Yeah, it's good. There's not much to say about it, I don't think. Dory's funny when she's there for
Dory's good
for
a
her
while.
For her little, you'd think she'd get really annoying, but because she's kind of kept in the background, she's good. It has some emotional moments. All of Marlin's children and wife die in the first 5 minutes, except for Nemo, and that's why he cares for him so much. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
Like a barracuda eats them all.
I love barracudas.
Yeah, it's that's intense, but and the music's. We haven't mentioned this for most of these, although I feel like that's more for the
towards the end.
Yeah, but the music is great in all of these. But it's great and great characters, very memorable.
I remember they go into and then there's a bunch of jellyfish.
Yeah, it has great set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Yeah, go you've seen it. You've definitely seen it. So I'm not gonna say go watch it, but there's not much else to say about it in my opinion.
Now the next thing I don't understand.
Number 6.
But at the end of all these, I'll say what my top 5 is.
Okay, sure. Well, my number 6 is Wall-E,
which I would put much higher.
Wait.
No, much lower in terms of numbers. I'd be number 3, I think. Or 4.
Oh, so you think it's better than
I think it's better than what you said.
Okay, well, fight me. I mean, these change. I might put Ratatouille above or below this, but spoiler for the next one. The next one's Ratatouille.
Because we know you care so much.
It's great. Wait, what are we talking about?
It's great.
Wall-E.
I love the premise of it, where Wall-E's the last robot on Earth. He meets Eva, and then they go into space, and
I think it's
humans are fat.
The peak of Pixar's creativity. You know how they?
Yeah.
Have you heard about the famous Pixar lunch thing?
Lunch thing?
Where back in the 90s, they sat the main creators behind Pixar sat down, they had a lunch, and they came up with the ideas for Toy Story, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, all their early amazing movies, and then
didn't hear this.
and then Wall-E was the last one, and you can kind of tell this is because the next one after that was Toy Story 3, and then it was Cars 2, and then it was Brave. So you can kind of tell this was the last one, their original amazing ideas. Yeah. It's fantastic. The animation once again, photorealistic at points.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. One thing that I do think is weird in this movie is the live action parts. It's always weirdly jarring when they put live action segments.
Live action?
Well, there's they show a video of humans on Earth from before, and it's live action, and it's always that's always weird in an animated movie when they're just suddenly.
This is on the billboard or something.
Yeah, and also he watches a movie which is live action at one point. Remember, and he holds where they hold hand, and he's hold his own hand.
Oh yeah.
That's a little weird. But besides that, it's very, very funny. The characters are adorable. Wall-E is,
and Eva's cool.
Yeah, and shout out to my main man Eva. The first 20 minutes where there's basically no dialogue, and it's just him going around the city is fantastic. It's perfect visual storytelling.
Yeah.
It could basically be a Pixar short
film.
Where
he takes the bra and
Yeah, and like he finds the cockroach and that kind of stuff.
Oh, the cock.
And then he takes care of Eva when she comes down, and then they go up to the spaceship, and it is a little similarly, I think.
Dare say generic?
No. Similarly to the Good Dinosaur, where the environments are so like amazingly animated, photorealistic, and then the dinosaurs are like kind of weirdly cartoony. With this, it's a little.
That with the humans?
Well, yeah, it's a little kind of weird at first when you go from like this beautifully animated like dystopia, yeah.
World, yeah,
and then they go up and like there's these cartoonishly like lumpy humans, but I mean once you get over it, it's totally fine. And
if you get over the shock,
the action's great when they're on the ship, they're getting chased. It's it's all very good
with the different kind of robots and yeah. It's really
exactly.
great.
It's very cool. Do you have any more thoughts on this while I look up some trivia?
Not really. Just like I grew up with this movie and I've watched it maybe 30 times or something.
Yeah,
and it's just
really
so great.
It's also it has like not really in the crying way that I remember, but in other ways it has like emotional moments, like when they're the part where they're dancing in space with the fire extinguisher, and they kind of that's pretty great.
That's nice. Yeah.
Let's see if there's any interesting trivias about this movie. The name of the ship that the humans are living on is the Axiom. In logic and math, an axiom
is something unquestionable or taken for granted. Very good.
Good job, IMDb.
First instance of a Pixar feature-length film using
that's
live.
What I'm talking about. Sound wizard Ben Burt recorded many of the sounds for this film in a junkyard where he probably lives. Ben Burt.
What a loser.
He made a good movie. What's wrong with you? Alright, my number 5 is Ratatouille.
Again, I'd also put this better than you've put it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Because I haven't seen Inside Out for one. And I'd put it better than... Oh, a little spoiler for you there.
Well,
I'll say at the end.
What do you think of it? Like, do you have any thoughts? No.
I think it's just a great story, and the part when he gets separated from his family, his
right,
parents,
there's that opening scene with the old lady
where he finds out
the shotgun.
That's actually kind of scary, where she puts on the gas mask.
That terrified me.
But like when he finds out Gusteau is dead.
Yeah,
that's kind of sad.
I don't really remember that.
Where he like sees on the TV and then it's like Gusteau is dead. Much more poetic than that. Gusteau is dead, right? Yeah, how he finds what's his name? Remy?
His name is Remy. Oh no, wait. Is the rat's name Remy
or is the guy's name?
No, it's the rat's name that's Remy.
What's the guy's name? It's like
John Krasinski.
Is it Eugene?
No, that's Tangled, you moron.
What is it then?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I like their dynamic too, the rat and
then he like
the
does that sexual innuendo where he's like put him down his pants, but then he's like no.
I don't know if that was an sexual innuendo, but well, that scene always kind of weirded me out, where he goes around biting him on the body, because rats kind of freak me out. I'll be real with you here. Rats, spiders, and bees are just keep them away from me. And so somehow, as a person who hates rats, or not hates rats, but you know, is uncomfortable is uncomfortable with rats, as I think most people are. It's impressive that they made it like a family-friendly, adorable. Also, a rat in a kitchen. I mean, I guess that's the premise that like.
Yeah, but
these
like,
things don't go together, and then it does. But when he's cooking, also those are great.
Yeah, where he's like,
and the food just looks delicious, you know.
And I
the
like
actual ratatouille.
I like. Yeah, no.
I've never actually. Have you ever had ratatouille?
I have once, but I don't remember what it tasted like. You know the critic kind of guy.
Yes, I was gonna mention that.
I really like him.
He also is
like not as a nice guy, but
yeah, but like as a character.
Where he tastes ratatouille and then like gets a flashback.
Yeah,
it's a really nice scene.
Also, his we haven't really mentioned this about Pixar, but they do great work with like character design, even in the bad movies. Like someone said that, I can't remember who, but like you can look at a character from Pixar and you basically just know what they're about. Like you look at that critic,
you know what they want,
and you know exactly what his character is just by looking at it. And that's like a fantastic use of animation. And he's great. Yeah, it's a great movie, great music. Director Brad Bird, who's one of my favorite directors.
Brad Bird.
Don't make a stupid pun. Yes, Ben Bird. Even better. It's very good. Also, Patton Oswalt is the rat, which I like.
Who's he?
Never mind. Coming in at number 4, Inside Out.
I haven't seen this movie, but it looks pretty good.
It's very good. The cast it's great, but it's like a lot of comedians.
It's legendary.
A lot of comedians. There's
Is Chris Rock in it?
No,
I don't want to see it.
Then get out of my sight.
Is Kevin Hart in it?
Yes.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Kevin Hart plays the main little girl.
Oh, you're serious for a moment.
So like it's a lot of Amy Poehler from Parks and Rec, Phyllis Smith from The Office, Bill Hader from
Why not Bill Lover?
from
I can keep going all day. So.
SNL, Louis Black from A Series of Things, and Kelly. No, that's her name on The Office. Mindy Kaling from The Office and The Mindy Project and a bunch of stuff. It's a great, like, perfect voices for all this. Like if you've seen The Office, you'd think like Phyllis is the perfect voice for its sadness, and if you've seen Parks and Rec, Amy Poehler is perfect for happiness. You know, it's all great. Animation wise, it's great. It's very. This is gonna sound like a terrible pun, but like it's very emotional.
Ah, hello.
You see what I did there?
You see, I get it.
But like it actually is. There's a character called Bing Bong in it who is her imaginary friend. We said spoilers. I don't really want to spoil it for you, but
Bing Bong dies.
Something to do with his character is very.
Just say it.
He dies.
Okay.
It's very emotional, but also not even that, but like the scene where the whole thing, kind of the whole progression of the movie is, because. I mean, the whole world is kind of confusing, like, and complicated, if you think about it. Like, these emotions can have different emotions, so do they have little emotions in their head?
Whoa! Did he just smack down Pixar? I think he did. Get it together, Inside Out.
Anyway, besides that, like the whole progression basically is, like, sadness learning to be, like...
Happy, and happy learning to be sad.
But it's actually quite emotional. You're making it sound bad.
No, he does it again!
He's too good. It's very, very good. The only thing that I don't like is like it feels very Pixar formulaic. Like it feels a bit like Finding Nemo, where they're basically going from like different environment to different environment, you know, and like from like they go. Although I will say it makes up for it because the environments in this and like the places they go are amazing. Like they go to Dreamland, which is like a movie production studio, which is great. It's so creative. Like it feels like a genuine original thing. And they go to the Train of Thought is an actual train. It's fun. So definitely watch it. It's well worth your time. Let's see. Number 3 for me is Up.
That's a good movie.
That
right there. That's a good movie.
The thing with these ranking podcasts is we always start kind of like high energy, and then as we go, we get progressively lower and lower. So when we get to number 1, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it's good, whatever, I don't care. Even though that's one I probably have the most to say about. But also because we're pre-recording 3 of these in one day, so this is gonna be intense. But Up.
Why not down?
The opening scene. Yes, I am ignoring that. The opening scene, of course, everyone's talked about it, is insanely emotional.
I find it emotional, but I don't know why.
It's such a like punch to the testicles of your heart.
Very good. Of your Joe Hart.
I don't.
Sure, that's a guy.
Probably.
Shout out to my man Joe Hart.
But as much as people talk about that opening,
player. So sorry.
Do you see Denmark is going to play against France? They're
Australia,
so gonna
lose.
We're so done.
No, we're gonna come second. Australia are shit. No, they're not.
Sorry to Mr. Sunday who's listening to this. Sorry to Jackman who plays on the Australian football team.
That's the ball.
That's the net. But I also think the ending is equally emotional.
Really?
He gives him the Ellie badge, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Also, I realized I said after WALL-E came Toy Story 3 and Cars 2 and all that. Actually, Up came between them, so I'm sorry. I retract that point. Also, just the visuals alone, the house with like the million colorful balloons tied to the top, that's so like iconic. Like you can look at that and instantly you think of Pixar and Up and that kind of stuff. Characters are great. Russell is I think Pixar's
Russell
great.
the little boy?
Yeah. Pixar's great at taking characters that could get incredibly annoying if like,
and then making them sympathetic kind of.
well, yeah, and making them actually funny and like work. Because you look at a character like Russell, that could get so old so fast. But it absolutely works. And there's Kevin I was gonna say giraffe. It's not giraffe. The bird. Carl Fredricksen's a great. He has a great arc.
Dog.
Doug is hilarious. Is his name? His name is Doug, right?
No idea.
Some people say like it gets too stupid with the dogs like flying mini airplanes and shooting machine guns, that kind of stuff. I love it.
I don't
think
remember much from this movie.
I think it's
honestly.
great. It ends with like an old man fight on top of a blimp.
Yeah.
That's fun, where they both like crack their backs at the same time. It's it's creative, it's different.
But this one's also kind of dark, isn't it? At times.
Well, this is the only Pixar movie I think, and I might be wrong, but this is the only one I can remember that actually has blood in it briefly, which like really weirded me out as a kid. Cause I was like, this is not blood. He hits a guy with his cane,
Yeah.
and like his head is bleeding. It's like, Jesus, this is. I that really stood out to me as a kid. But the rest of the movie is very. Yeah, it's probably the darkest Pixar film, isn't it? Like it has the lovely like Peruvian jungle, or wherever it is, somewhere in South America, and like the dogs and all the cute stuff. But it does have like themes of death and getting old.
Yeah, exactly.
And like not having, like there's some
not having anyone to love ever.
there's some stuff about like Russell's parents and how they're something's up there. I haven't watched it in a while. It's fantastic. It's a great, hilarious, but also has like good themes and like stuff for adults to gravitate towards. It's like it's what Pixar does best. So definitely watch it. Number 2, Monsters Inc.
Really good.
Fantastic.
I don't know if I'd put this on my number 1 and number 2 actually.
Yeah. I kind of switch with these occasionally, but usually it's this way. Also, I do want to say, in particular, like pretty much all of these have great music, but in particular, my top 5 here: Ratatouille, Inside Out, Up, Monsters Inc., and you can probably figure out what number 1 is. The music is like
really
perfect.
Really good.
It's
it stands out.
Especially these last 3. It's this is so good. That's some of my favorite music in any movie ever. It's a fantastic movie, right? Also with these ranked videos, we also just run out of like adjectives to use. It's
enrapturing.
It is. Mike and Sully have amazing,
the greatest chemistry,
the greatest of banter.
And there's the abominable snowman.
Oh yeah, that's actually probably one of my least favorite parts of the film. It's still good, but it's just like when they go to the.
I like Randall.
Randall's a great villain. What's his name? Octopus Man. He's not an octopus.
He's a crab.
What's his name? Inspector Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
Whatever. He's a great villain. It's really it's probably the funniest Pixar movie. Would you say?
Yeah.
Cause like even though I think number 1 is I enjoy number 1 overall, and it's very funny. I think this is like all this stuff with Mike and Sully is hilarious.
Like there's one part that I really like got freaked out about. You know the sucking machine?
Yes, that is terrifying.
Did they kill that one guy?
No. He comes out of it and he's like, he's just breathing funny. Mike has a girlfriend with snake hair or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's also just this is what I love about early Pixar. It's just the premises are so creative. Like a world of, because like monsters in your closet is like the classic, classic thing that kids are scared of, and then to go into that world and like
see it from the monsters' perspective.
Yeah, it's a job for the monsters, and they need energy, and there's an energy crisis because kids aren't as scared anymore. It's so creative. It's fantastic, and the ending where it turns out laughter is more powerful than screaming is like the perfect ending. I don't know. I love it so much. Great voice acting. Great animation, like the time it probably took to make all the hairs on Sully. Boo is another character who could get annoying and is perfectly adorable. The ending is it hits you right here.
Did it hit you right there?
Right there. Great film overall.
Yeah.
Now, finally, number 1, you all saw it coming, is The Incredibles.
It is the Good Dinosaur again.
Psych.
There's only 18 movies. That'd be the greatest psych of all.
Yeah. Look, again, there's not much to say about this that we haven't said before. It's perfect, in my opinion. It might be my favorite movie.
Of all time, including the Good Dinosaur.
That's a tough one.
Good Dinosaur.
I don't know. Again, that switches all the time, but like, maybe. It's
great, yeah. I've watched that a lot of times.
It's the one that I watched the most growing up. It's like, I've seen it at least 30 times. Like, it's like anytime it's on TV, I can watch it. I can just sit down and watch it anytime, any day. Characters.
Great.
Frozone.
Where's my super suit?
Performances, animation, plot. It's a great, like, kind of not parody of superhero movies, but it does a good job of making fun of superhero movies while also being a great superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's fantastic action, also amazing music. It's everything you want in a film, I'd say. Like if I had to show, like, if you had to pick a movie to show to everyone, like, in the world, I think I was asked this 5. Then I think Incredibles, because like if you don't think the story is good, then there are like great visuals. If you don't think the visuals are interesting, there's a really like actually
There's a great
quite
story.
good. There is.
It intertwines.
And if you like both, then it's perfect. The story's also very like different and clever, and like gets better as you like grow up and actually understand it. Like how he's being sued for saving. I didn't understand that at all when I was a kid. I just loved like the action, but he gets sued for saving a guy from killing himself.
Yeah.
And then like superheroes are shut down, then they come back. It's perfect. Everything is great villain. It's there's nothing I don't love in that film. So
And the sequel's coming out very soon.
God, that is gonna be
Horribly disappointing, probably.
Probably, yeah. But when that theme song comes on in the cinema, I'm gonna just scream. I honestly, I know I'm gonna be disappointed, and I really don't want to be, but like, God, I'm excited for that. It's been so long, and I can't wait to see like what they do with these characters. Because I love these characters so much, especially Mr. Incredible. Like, and it's a relatable story about family at the core of it. It's just everything about it. Is there like, do you have anything to add or anything you don't like?
Nothing I don't like, honestly.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like is the weird blooper reel that they have on the DVD where
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
where it's like half finished animation, and it's like one of them is like Frozone and Mr. Incredible fist bumping with like a bunch of bikini women around them. I think I don't remember it very well. Well, it's just I don't know, that freaked me out. But that is not part of the movie, so that does not detract at all. So yeah, 10 out of 10, definitely.
Would watch again.
Would watch again. Yeah.
Now for my top 5.
Oh, please. So.
All right. So I'm gonna put Wall-E as number 5.
All right.
Actually, no. I'll put Up.
Matt, you can't take it back.
I'm putting Up as number 5. Wall-E number 4. Ratatouille number 3. Monsters Inc. and The Incredibles. I'm not sure.
All right,
like,
that's fair.
As 2 and 1, right? But that's that.
They're both pretty amazing. So yeah, I think that will do it for this episode of Pixar Movies Ranked. We hope you enjoyed
that sounds
this.
like we do that theme every week.
Every week we
Come
change
back.
it up. I think
the
that
only
was...
week the Good Dinosaur has been first.
We hope you enjoyed this, and finally, in 2 weeks from now, we will be back with a fresh, not pre-recorded pod.
Yes.
So we will get finally some Tom Knews back.
Dude, the Tom Knews.
People have been missing the Tom Knews, I assume.
I hope not.
I'm sure there was some Thwaites news.
Dude, we need to get some Thwaites.
There must be some Sandler news.
When's there not?
Let's hope not. And I'm sure Jackman punched someone. Anyway, so we will see you in 2 weeks for that. That's gonna be great. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. If you want to email us anything, BHLHudsonVids@gmail.com.
You can find me on YouTube at FTK Gaming, some sick Minecraft tutorials, as well as a little CSGO and GTA 5 spice in there.
Oh,
Very
is it
good.
a GTA 5 music video?
It could be, and a CSGO I'm an Albatross.
You are.
I'm very good. And you can find me on Twitter at FDK_Dalt Sniper.
FDK Killer_Dalt Sniper.
FDK_Dalt Sniper, where I post minutely.
And you know what? No, I'm not gonna hedge my bets. I was gonna say maybe by the time this comes out, I'll have hit 20K and done a face reveal, so you can give away your Instagram. But that's probably not gonna happen. Let's be real.
No, yeah, it's already beginning to drop.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode. We will see you for episode 17 with some fresh news. So much news has happened over Christmas.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait. Great. See you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Burn it, 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 burn it.
God,
All right.
we have to do that 3 times.
All right, we will see you next time. Goodbye.